All right, good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday night. We are live talking about a few things. Starting tomorrow, we'll be 2 weeks away from the total solar eclipse. So we'll talk about that along with a few storms possible overnight if you're watching from San Antonio, which a lot of you are. Or if you're watching from the Hill Country, maybe near Del Rio, towards Austin, San Marcos, anywhere north of San Antonio, north of Highway 90 overnight, we'll have a better shot at seeing some rain and some thunderstorms in the next several hours, which again, we'll show you radar, we'll show you futurecast, some of our forecast models depicting a pretty good chance at some storms for Kerrville across Blanco County and for some in northern San Antonio. But again, the main severe weather threats for hail, strong winds and thunderstorms, mainly north of San Antonio and north of Bexar County. And again, we'll talk about that in just a bit. All right, good evening, Vanessa, Jacob. Favorite pizza topping? I'm going to say, oh my goodness, this is tough. I love a margarita pizza. Obviously I'm going to be basic. Pepperoni, maybe? Mushroom, I do like that. Basil. I could add anything on a pizza, man, Jacob. So, yeah, absolutely. Hayden, good evening. Ready for the solar eclipse? Yes, I am. We are getting things ready. We have a special that'll air the Friday before the solar eclipse, which I believe is April. That'll be on Kent's 5. That'll be on April 5th. So the total solar eclipse will be April 8th. That's a Monday. And then our special on Kent's 5 will air on April 5th, the Friday before the eclipse. Okay, so let's talk about the weather. It is cloudy but dry outside. You know, a lot of the clouds that were out there today looked like rainmakers. But maybe just drizzle, and that was about it. We didn't see much measurable rain form and materialize from these clouds. Big reason why we have so much cloud cover is because of the system that's at the surface right now. So notice across Colorado and New Mexico in the higher elevations, you can see 40s and 30s for that part of the country across the Rocky Mountains. And near Phoenix, Utah, and near Arizona as well. The Four Corners, the desert Southwest. Now for South Texas, San Antonio, we're under that influence of south winds, and what that does, it increases our humidity, our moisture, and all the water that's in the Gulf of Mexico. Those southeast winds pick up that moisture and move it in our direction, which is why we saw so much cloud cover today. Now, a lot of it didn't really materialize in the rain, as we just mentioned, because yes, we have the fuel, the moisture in place, but we don't have the lift, the trigger in the atmosphere to get rain and storms going. But now we do. If you look out the surface, Matt, there's a cold front draped across West Texas, and behind it, westerly winds getting a little gusty. That's going to kind of foreshadow our weather tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a bit. But behind the front, obviously, it's not terribly cold. I mean, we have 60s in Midland. 53 in El Paso, and 69 to 70 here in San Antonio. So more of a Pacific front versus an Arctic front, right? And this is the type of fronts we typically get in March, April, May in the springtime. And this sometimes and oftentimes in this time of year will spark off showers and some severe weather, which, by the way, anywhere north of Dallas, you can see some of those yellow polygons near I-35 across parts of North Texas and southern Oklahoma. That is indicative of a severe thunderstorm warning issued by the Weather Service. So some of these storms are rotating north of Dallas, and this line is all courtesy of that cold front that's pushing the moisture up, the humidity up, it's lifting it up into the atmosphere and helping produce some rain. Now, notice across our area, it's really towards West Texas at the moment, right? So San Angelo, the Concho Valley, north of Sonora, north of I-10, is where there's a broken line of showers and thunderstorms, of which could be severe from what I'm seeing south of San Angelo, far removed from anywhere in our area, right? North of the Hill Country, north of San Antonio. But if you look closely, I'll zoom in right here. Some of these reflectivities south of San Angelo and west of Brady and Mason are producing some of those pink reflectivities. And that, obviously is showing some large updrafts, some high updrafts in the atmosphere, 40, 50,000 foot thunderstorms, and that may produce some hail south of San Angelo and towards Brady and Mason and north of Junction. But you know, this line of rain, this front will move into San Antonio probably until the overnight, like 1, 2, 3 a.m. And that's when we could see a chance at rain, and we'll show you that in a minute. Metro temperatures, good evening, everybody. It is 72 in Divine, 69 to 70 here in San Antonio. Not getting a reading out of Hondo, but for the most part, very spring-like air, very comfortable air with that southeast wind, really breezy at this time, around 15 to 20 miles an hour. Vanessa, Wichita Falls got some crazy weather today. Yeah, and it's continuing. It's ongoing right now as storms, and you saw on radar, we have some storms out north of Dallas and across North Texas and the Red River. That's where it's kind of lighting up on radar. Thanks to the cold front and the favorable conditions out in North Texas, which, by the way, I think they're under a slight risk of severe weather today. It's between level 2 or level 3. For North Texas and Oklahoma, where again, tonight and tomorrow morning early, pre-dawn hours, that's where most of the severe weather will be. But specifically here in our area, right in the San Antonio area, across the hill country, across South and Central Texas, here's 1 a.m. tomorrow morning, so in the next several hours, that's when rain and that line of storms, broken line of showers and thunder showers, will move farther east towards Kerrville and Fredericksburg. So heads up for the hill country, 1, 2 a.m., some of these storms may produce small hail and some gusty winds near 40 to 50 miles an hour. Just something to keep in mind and monitor. 4, 5 a.m. as folks are getting ready to prepare for the day or get ready to go to work. For some, obviously, it's really early. Around 4 and 5 a.m., there will be scattered rain and a few thunder showers and thunderstorms around. And then by 7 a.m., maybe a lingering shower, some cloud cover, breezy west winds, and then the cloud cover and the rain moves out. And the rest of tomorrow is nice, it's sunny, it's clear, with just a few clouds around. But notice, if you look closely at the wind particles on this map, I'll zoom in right here, that shows the westerly winds moving around 20 to 30 miles an hour. So yes, morning showers, maybe an isolated storm overnight, mainly while you're sleeping. But when you wake up, there may be a sprinkle or a light shower. Then for the rest of the day, it is clear and sunny, and the temperature's right around 78 to 80 in San Antonio. But the big story behind this front, behind this rain, will be clearing skies and gusty winds, which will produce a fire weather threat. Forecast models depicting in some locations and some spots in these localized thunderstorms may produce up to about 3/4 to an inch of rain. Again, that's isolated areas. Most areas along Highway 90 and pointing north, on average, 1/100th to 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. But if you get lucky enough under one of those thunderstorms, that may produce upwards of 3/4 to an inch of rainfall in a short amount of time, which is great because the leftover drought, the lingering drought that's in place, it's mainly across the hill country. So we need that rain to fall exactly where this forecast model is depicting, in the recharge zone, where the water funnels into our aquifer. That would be very beneficial and very resourceful with this next weather event. But again, it's only a few hours of the rain coverage increasing across our area. And again, mostly north of San Antonio and north of Highway 90. Tomorrow's forecast up to 79 for San Antonio. There will be a few areas that hit 80 degrees tomorrow. But the big story behind this front are the winds. Look at this. Westerly winds near 35 to 45 miles an hour tomorrow. Just to put into perspective, I think a tropical storm starts out at 39 miles an hour, right? And it goes up to 73. And then after 73, it becomes a Category 1 hurricane. Tomorrow's wind speeds will be near 35 to 45, which is a weekend tropical storm. Just to put into perspective how windy it will be tomorrow. And then there will be some wind gusts around 2, 3, and 4 o'clock tomorrow that reach 45 to 50. So naturally, with this kind of front that moves through, it drops the humidity. And then when you add in the factor of gusty winds up to 40 to 45 miles an hour, that's going to create a fire threat. So avoid any type of outdoor burning. Avoid driving over tall grass. Sometimes the friction between the car, the tires, and the tall grass, and the chain sometimes attached to trucks and larger vehicles can cause friction and sparks and embers to jump from spot to spot. So again, just big story. And Bexar County is not included in this, but anywhere west is included in a red flag warning for tomorrow, meaning again, with dry air, gusty winds, and low humidity values, that'll elevate the fire weather threat. So just to reiterate one more time, specifically tomorrow, any wildfires that spark off will spread rapidly. Avoid outdoor burning. Strong winds and dry air may contribute to extreme fire behavior. So something to watch out for tomorrow. So just be careful out there. Tomorrow, 79 to 80 degrees. San Antonio may reach 80 depending on how fast the cloud cover clears out. I think it clears out by about 8 and 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So temperatures will respond. But it will be a chilly morning, and then when you add in those winds near 20 to 30 miles an hour, maybe a light jacket for the first half of the day. A little cooler pre-dawn Tuesday, early Wednesday, and early Thursday morning. This is a kind of a below average trend. So the next few mornings will be chilly to cold. And I say that just because for some, upper 40s, lower 50s, that's not cold. It just feels good in the mornings. But, you know, Thursday morning and early Wednesday, I think we'll probably slip into the upper 40s. So that will be chilly. 74 Wednesday with a small chance at some spotty showers. Otherwise, the rest of the week, pretty dry. 78 on Thursday from a morning low of 46, 79 on Friday, and then 83 Saturday and Sunday. Our next system may arrive sometime by the back half of next weekend. We'll watch that. Right now, models aren't really too strong on the idea of aggressive rain, but we'll watch it very closely. But overnight tonight through tomorrow morning, a few showers and a few thunderstorms, especially across the hill country. And then Wednesday, spotty, isolated showers, maybe an isolated storm. Nothing severe in our area. Cooler weather between Tuesday and Thursday, and then here comes the recovery in temperatures. Saturday and Sunday, Irene, lakes need water. Yeah, I mean, Medina Lake needs water drastically. Canyon Lake, probably the same thing. But, you know, back in January, that was a very wet month, and that was very beneficial. But, yeah, February wasn't too wet. And so far this month, I need to check the month-to-date rainfall. Let's see what that says. Give me 1 second. This particular almanac graphic will tell me our month-to-date rainfall. So yeah, if you look, this is our today's numbers. So today's high was 73 from a morning low of 57. Average is 54 to 76. That's a normal late March day in San Antonio. Records obviously stay in place. Those are the hottest and coldest ever recorded on this day. And you can see the attached year those were recorded in. And then below that is the precip almanac. Today, 0, obviously, despite it looked like it was going to rain. 0.66 is our March 2024 total so far, which I think that's below average. I think typically March produces up to 2 to 3 inches of rain on average, and we're not even halfway there. Yearly totals doing okay. We're at 8.25. Again, January was a very beneficial month in regarding rain, and we are looking forward to hopefully more rain later tonight, and also maybe later next week. We'll watch it very closely. Luis, thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I just got married on the 15th, so less than 10 days ago. So I'm back to work, back to doing the weather, but I appreciate your kind words, Luis. It means a lot. Thank you so much for that. We're happy and we're enjoying our first couple weeks into a new chapter in our lives. All right, so here's the 7-day, guys. One more time, 80 tomorrow. Again, a few showers and thunder showers overnight. Main threat for severe weather will be tomorrow morning early, and that's north of Highway 90 and north of San Antonio. Guadalupe, thank you so much. I know. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was gone for about 8-9 days, but I'm glad to be back, glad to be given the weather, and glad to be covering all things weather. And of course, we're doing a large project on covering the eclipse, which is in about 2 weeks. It's on Monday, April 8th. That's when the total solar eclipse path of totality will move right through South Texas. And I did mention that I was going to talk about it. Guadalupe, thank you so much. It means so much. Thank you very much. David, good evening. Good evening. Okay, so we talked about earlier, and I think it was the first thing I brought up, the total solar eclipse. And I made 3 graphics I think you're going to want to look at. Because we talked about the 7-day, just a few chances for rain, and that's about it. Let's do this real quick. Okay, so in 2 weeks, guys, if you have any questions about the eclipse, feel free to comment down below. I've been working on it nonstop. Okay, so here it is on April 8th in 2 weeks. It'll be a Monday. The path of totality will move through Del Rio, Eagle Pass, the Rio Grande, and mainly across the hill country. And then notice San Antonio kind of split, and we'll talk about that in detail in a few moments. But if you're watching from Houston or areas across West Texas, I mean, this is kind of how I put it. if you're in the path of totality, the darkest path, that's 100% covered. The sun will be 100% blocked by the moon. That means that that'll be the darkest part of the shadow that moves through South Texas. And then if you're not in that direct path of totality, don't worry. If you're in eastern San Antonio, or if you're watching from, let's say, LaGrange, Gonzales, Seguin, Pleasanton, Lavernia, you'll still be in that category, in that range of like 97 to 99% of the sun will be blocked, which is a lot. Now I say that, but just remember the sun is so bright and so powerful. So even if it's like 97, 98% full, it's still somewhat light outside. That's the crazy part. Even when the moon is blocking the majority of the sunlight reaching the earth, the sun is just so powerful. The light that reaches the surface is still very, very bright. So if you really want to experience the dark, and again, it's not like nighttime dark, it's more of a twilight dark. I've talked to a few scientists and they told me if you're in the path of totality and it's a sunny day, you'll experience what they call a phenomenon. It's like a 360-degree sunset. So it's dark above you, but you see the light all around you, right? I mean, because the moon's circumference, or the size of it, I don't know. Let's see. I'm curious now. How far would this path be? I mean, so hold on. Let me clear that out real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm answering questions while I do this. So the path of the path of totality is about, if you're in the direct center, it's about 110 miles long. So, I mean, if you want to experience the full extent of the twilight dark, the total eclipse, the darkness of the moon's shadow, you really have to be near Kerrville, maybe Fredericksburg. I'll show you exactly where. And then you'll see really the darkest effect of it. Maybe near Bandera, Lakey, Uvalde, all along that path, that direct path of totality. So that red line shows the center of the path where two things. You'll be in the darkest path of it, but also the longest amount of totality, which right now in some areas near Kerrville is about 4 minutes and 24 seconds. So, and now if you're watching from Helotes, 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So that's a pretty big difference, but big takeaway is that northwestern San Antonio will be included in the path of totality, about 2 minutes of totality. But if you're watching from eastern San Antonio, southeast Bexar County, not so much. But even at that, 96 and 99% of the sun will be covered. But traveling just towards the northwest side of Bexar County, towards La Cantera, towards Alamo Ranch, towards Helotes, towards Bernie, will make a huge difference. You'll experience it. You'll have the full experience of the totality and the full total solar eclipse. So just something to keep in mind. Again, if you watch from eastern San Antonio, it'll be cool, but you'll still see a little bit of sunlight peeking through the moon's shadow, or at least the moon's shape, as it only covers about 98 to 99% on eastern Bexar County and southeastern San Antonio. So yeah, guys, that is the latest on the solar eclipse. Again, we'll have more on it just a bit. Philip, you missed radar. Let's see. Let's go back to radar really quickly. So most of the heavier storms are forming in North Texas right now. Right there, you should see it. Anywhere from Abilene towards west of Dallas, towards North Texas and Oklahoma. That's where the severe threat is the highest overnight. With that being said, there are a few showers and storms moving towards Sonora, near Junction, southeast of San Angelo. And then let's just run through this one more time for those who just joined in. Here's the forecast. Again, there may be a few showers and thunderstorms overnight. We're going to be on the tail end of energy. And if rain does form, it'll be about 3, 4, 5 a.m. when you're asleep. I was going to say that. Up I-35, 4 a.m. will be a little damp and a little slick, so something to keep in mind if you're traveling out up I-35 towards Austin early or towards San Marcos. But again, it's going to be a quick, splash and dash of rain, moves east very quickly, and the rest of tomorrow is clear, sunny, and windy. Northwest to west winds will be moving around 30 to 40 miles an hour at times. So something to watch out for. Bring any lawn furniture in, loose lawn items in from the front or backyard. Secure them down because it will be windy tomorrow. Otherwise, That's the 7-day, guys. Northern Kerr County, there is a small chance that some of these storms do produce some small hail. So if you're watching from northern Kerr County, Philip, or across Kerrville, I would suggest if you can, bring the car inside or into the garage just for the overnight. But I would say most of the heavier storms and the stronger threat of severe weather will be farther north of Kerrville, towards central Texas, towards, let's say, I'm trying to think, because there's a severe weather threat chart. We have that. We can show you that real quick. So let's see. Give me 1 second. Update. So here's kind of what we're thinking. The Hill Country is included in that level 1 out of 5, meaning isolated storms have the ability and the capability of producing large updrafts and quarter-sized hail. But that is the smallest, and I need to do one thing. It is tonight into Monday. 1 second. I just need to fix something real quick. I just need to delete that text. It's not incorrect, but I just like having it out. There we go. So let's take a look at the map. So this is tonight through tomorrow morning. But anywhere east of San Angelo, between there and Waco, that's where, between there, Brownwood, Brady, up to May, Stephenville, Eastland, I-20 is kind of going to be the bullseye spot overnight for a larger threat of severe weather. But that's not to say Kerrville and Gillespie County and the Hill Country are not out of the woods. There will be a few showers and thunderstorms that produce small hail and some gusty winds. So big takeaway, if you can, park the car in the garage overnight, and also secure anything outside that you don't want to be blown away. Some of these storms can produce downdrafts, and those winds could produce up to 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. So just be careful and secure any loose lawn items outside or bring them inside. And also, if you can, cover your car or bring it into the garage just for the outside chance and possibility at seeing some small hail overnight, specifically across the Hill Country. A lot of it weakens as it moves farther south and east, which is where San Antonio is kind of included. But we'll watch it closely and monitor the situation overnight. And the best timing between about 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. for the San Antonio metro. So that's it for weather, guys. We'll leave it on the 7-day. We're going to be on at 10:30 tonight due to college basketball. Pushed CBS back a little bit. So we'll be on live in about 45 minutes or so. So tune in to Kent's 5 News at 10:30. We'll be on for an hour until 11:30. So it'll be a late night. Guadalupe, thank you so much. Philip, absolutely. You have a wonderful night, guys. Be safe and enjoy some rain overnight. It's much needed. And be safe tomorrow morning. The roads may be a little slick because of the rain moving out. Drive carefully. Leave about 15 minutes early just to account for some of those slick roads and potential traffic. Otherwise, a 7-day forecast that looks very nice. Chilly mornings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Lows in the upper 40s, lower 50s with highs in the 70s and 80s. Thursday, Friday, and next weekend. All right, guys, have a wonderful Sunday night, and we'll see you tomorrow. And have a great week ahead. It looks pretty good. Aside from some rain, temperatures are going to be comfortable and very chill and crisp in the mornings, early Tuesday, early Wednesday, and early Thursday.